Good morning. You are listening to Pooja Kushwaha. Tamil Nadu government releases electronics and hardware manufacturing policy. On September 7, 2020, Tamil Nadu government released electronics and hardware manufacturing policy. The main aim of the policy is to increase the electronics industry output to 100 billion USD by 2025. The Tamil Nadu distribute 25% of India's total electronic exports of the country after implementation of the policy. The policy will undertake skill training of more than 1 lakh people by 2024. It targets to increase the level of value addition that is already being implemented in the state. This includes chip designs, PCB designs, mobile handset, solar photovoltaic cells, mobile handsets, medical electronics, etc. The policy also aims to undertake skill training of more than 1 lakh people by 2024 to meet human resource requirement as projected by the National Skill Development Corporation for the state of Tamil Nadu. The policy is aligned with the National Electronics Policy of 2019. Key features of the policy. The policy says that the incentives to be provided by the state government is to be additional to those offered by the central government. A special package of incentive for the ESDM units is to be formulated for MSME sector under the policy. This includes interest subvention, capital subsidy, generator subsidy, low power tariff subsidy. The policy has identified districts under the three categories. There are as follows. Category A for investments between rupees 200 crores and rupees 500 crores capital subsidy would be 15%. For investments over rupees 500 crore capital subsidy would be 18%. Category B for investments between rupees 200 crores and rupees 500 crores capital subsidy would be 20%. For investment over rupees 500 crores the capital subsidy would be 24%. Category C for investment between rupees 200 crores and rupees 500 crores capital subsidy would be 25%. For investment more than rupees 500 crores capital subsidy would be 30%. A mega electropreneur center is to be established. The center is to be focused on hardware products and build a robust ecosystem for entrepreneurs and startups, and hence the name Electropreneur. International Solar Alliance. 8 initiatives to be launched at the first World Solar Technology Summit. On September 7, 2020, the International Solar Alliance released the agenda of the first World Solar Technology Summit. The summit is to be held on September 8, 2020. Around eight initiatives are to be launched at the summit. Highlights. The World Solar Technology Summit is to be held between 4 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. The summit will have 5 sessions focusing on the following: Global CEO session, Vision 2030 and beyond, towards a decarbonized grid, disruptive solar technologies, solar beyond power sector. The summit is to be addressed by PM Modi. About the summit is to be conducted to achieve the following. First, to build common knowledge e-portal. Second, to facilitate capacity building for absorption and promotion of solar technologies and research and development among member countries. Third, to develop innovative financial mechanism and reduce cost of capital. Fourth, to formulate programs and projects to promote solar applications. Initiatives to be launched at the summit. The International Solar Alliance is to launch the following 8 initiatives. First, Solar Photovoltaic Technician Skill Development Initiative. Second, ISI Cares Initiative. Third, undergraduate program for small island and developing states and least developed countries. Fourth, price exploratory global bid energy providing access to 47 million households for solar parks. Fifth, ISA advisory for manufacturers of ventilators to use solar kits. Fifth, action plan to develop 20 gigawatt of solar parks. Seventh, to make solar bank cable. Eighth, launch of a new website for the ISA. International Solar Alliance. The ISA has 121 countries that work to tap benefits of solar power and promote clean energy applications. The alliance was initiated by India. It was proposed at the Paris Climate Change Conference that was held in 2015. The GOI allocated 5 acres of land to construct headquarters of ISA in Gurugram. Also, rupees 160 crores was released for the infrastructure facilities. The first ISA assembly was held in 2018. Solar power in India. According to Central Electricity Authority, India produced 35 gigawatt of solar power in July 2020. Key highlights of the guidelines: the endorsement of celebrities through blogs, posts, and tweet should be based on adequate information or experience with the product. The disclaimers in the advertisements in small font size will be treated as misleading ads and shall be penalized. They should be easily noticeable to be consumers and should be in same font and language as that of the claim of the advertisement. If the disclaimer of the ad is being presented through voiceover, then the disclaimer should be displayed in sync with it. An advertisement should declare a product or a service as free or without charges and similar other terms. Consumer Protection Authority. The authority was established in 2020 under Section 10, Subsection 1 of the Consumer Protection Act. It will protect the rights of consumer by tracking unfair trade practices and misleading advertisements. The powers and functions of the authority are as follows. The authority will investigate matters of violations of the consumer rights and unfair trade practices. It will recall goods that are dangerous or unsafe. It shall endorse penalty up to rupees 10 lakh and imprisonment up to 2 years on manufacturers for misleading advertisements. It shall file complaints against unfair trade practices and violation of consumer rights in District Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. The authority has a chief commissioner and other 2 commissioners as members. One of them will deal with matters related to goods and the other towards services. Cannabis Medicine Project. First foreign investment in Jammu and Kashmir. The first ever cannabis medicine project that is to be set up in Jammu and Kashmir in collaboration with Canada is to be the first foreign investment in the Union Territory. Highlights: the project is to be set up at the Indian Institute of Integrative Medicine in Jammu and Kashmir. The project was recently reviewed by the Union Minister Jitendra Singh. Along with this, the minister also reviewed progress of the construction of new biotech industrial park in Kathua, Jammu and Kashmir. Jammu and Kashmir is to be the first in the country to develop medicines from the cannabis plant. Cannabis in India. The United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime report, World Drug Report, says that around 2.83% of Indians of age 10 to 75 years use cannabis products. Also, the retail price of the cannabis in India is 0.10 USD per gram. This is the lowest of any country in the world. In 2019, AIIMS submitted its report on magnitude of substance use in India to Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. The finding of the report are as follows. First, around 5 crore of Indians use cannabis. Second, alcohol is the most abused substance in India. Third, there are more than 8.5 lakh people in India using drug injections. Fourth, of all the states, Punjab, Assam, Haryana, Delhi, Manipur, Sikkim, Mizoram, and Uttar Pradesh use injective drugs extensively. Legal status. The 1961 Single Convention of Narcotic Drugs, an international treaty, classed cannabis as a hard drug. Drugs that are more harmful are hard drugs, and those that are less harmful are soft drugs. Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances Act. India is a signatory of United Nations Single Convention of Narcotic Drugs 1961. Abiding to the Narcotic Drug and Psychotropic Substances Act was formed. Khadi Agarbatti Atmanirbhar Mission approved. On September 6, 2020, the Ministry of MSME approved the Khadi Agarbatti Atmanirbhar Mission. The scheme aims to create employment of migrant workers in different parts of the country, support the local agarbatti industry and hand-holding artisans. The current agarbatti consumption in India is 1,490 metric tons per day. However, the production of agarbatti per day is 760 metric tons. The deficit in the country is sufficient through imports from Vietnam and China. The mission will thus help reduce imports in the country. About the scheme will make India self-reliant. The total size of the program has been increased to Rs 55 crores. This includes immediate support to about 1,500 artisans of about Rs 3.45 crores. The scheme will develop 2 centers at IITs and NITs and at Fragrance and Flavor Development Center, Kannauj. Around 10 new clusters are to be set up at Rs 50 crores under SFURTI, a scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries. Earlier, the size of the program was to cover 500 artisans with an allocated amount of Rs 2.66 crores. Key features of the scheme. The scheme is to be designed on public-private partnership mode. Under the scheme, KVIC will provide automatic agarbatti making machines and powder mixing machines. Under the scheme, KVIC is to provide 25% subsidy on the cost of machines. The remaining 75% are to be recovered from the artisans through installments. The cost of training the artisans are to be shared between KVIC and private business partner. Employment. The automatic agarbatti making machines are capable of producing 80 kg of agarbatti per day. This will provide direct employment to 4 persons. Currently, the job work rate of agarbatti industry is Rs 15 per kg. At this rate, with 4 persons working on a machine, the artisans will earn Rs 1,200 per day, making 80 kg of agarbatti. Delhi government anti-dengue campaign launched. On September 6, 2020, the Delhi government launched a mass campaign against dengue and other vector-borne diseases. Highlights. The campaign seeks the residents of Delhi to pick up their phone and call 10 of their relatives and friends and advise them on practices to prevent dengue. The campaign also urges the citizens to spend 10 minutes to inspect their own residence for clean stagnant water in order to avoid breeding of mosquitoes and prevent the spread of malaria, dengue and chikungunya.